You're listening to the Esoterics Podcast.
Hey everyone, this is Jo and Fioraliz. Welcome to another mini episode of the Esoterics Podcast.
Welcome back, everyone. Today, I want to talk to you about the Mars retrograde in Gemini. So, this is actually taking place from October 30th of 2022 until January 13th of 2023. So, first of all, when planets go retrograde, they appear to be moving away from us. It's generally more of an optical illusion, though. So, in this case, Mars, its normal movement from Earth's perspective is west to east. But when it's retrograde, it appears to move from east to west. So, it appears backwards, but it's not actually reversing its movement. So, metaphorically, though, this is why we talk about these retrograde periods as a time to review, to revisit, and to revise themes and all the sort of different relationships, opportunities in our life, which have already taken place. This gives you that time to revisit them, whether you want to or not sometimes.
So the is because it appears we're going backwards. So it's like we'll go back and look at these things. Okay, good.
Yeah,
good.
And so this particular retrograde is important because Mars is in close proximity to Earth. So we're going to feel its energy much more than we would with maybe more distant planets.
Yes, I'm feeling it. Are you?
Yeah.
Fucking Mars. Seriously.
Yeah. And also Mars retrogrades the least out of all the planets. Like we talk about Mercury retrograde all the time.
Right.
Because it happens pretty often. But yeah, Mars doesn't happen that often. So this, again, heightens that Mars energy in our lives.
I didn't know that. Wow.
So Mars, the red planet, is often associated with determination, conflict, aggression, assertiveness, sex drive, and energy levels. It represents our instincts and our passions and how we go about achieving goals in our life. So again, like how we get along, how we go. So in retrograde, Mars begins to question itself. Strategies must be reviewed and goals tested to make sure they are still in line with our greatest good. On the other end, we are set to emerge with new directions, renewed enthusiasm, and the freedom from our old patterns of behavior that are no longer serving us.
This is all hitting spot on to what I'm I won't say struggling with, of what I've been experiencing over the last couple weeks. So, yeah.
Yeah. This particular retrograde takes place in the skies of Gemini, and Gemini rules communication, our mental thought process, and our ability to connect with others. So remember that communication also includes gossip, rumors, and toxicity. So just keep that in mind, and so try to resist the pressure to weigh in on every issue of the day because you don't know if it's true or not.
Especially on the socials.
Yeah, because during this time, it's very likely that conspiracy theories are gonna like blow up. Like they're just gonna kind of be, everyone's gonna pull shit out of their ass, basically.
Yeah, and it's election time, and so a lot of those things are going to come up to try to discredit the other guy.
Yep. So polarized thinking will disrupt nuanced conversations, and it'll be a crucial in the coming months to count to 10 before hitting send, and then even more crucial to lay out a thoughtful, deep, and fact-based analysis of maybe any responses that you do want to put out there to counter any false narratives. So make sure you just, dot your I's, cross your T's.
I recommend that anytime, but definitely in this energy.
Yeah. So some of the other things we need to look out for are people who have hurt us in the past may come back into the picture. So that's exes, past relationships, friendships, toxic work environments. How to deal with this, though, is keep in mind how much we were controlled by painful experiences in the past. And sometimes that hinges on how willing we are to process those difficult feelings, because a lot of times it's easier to just blame the other and curse, a person and say, whatever they harmed me, F them, and move on, which is fine for the time, but this is now causing you to revisit the feelings that that situation may have brought up for you.
Mm-hmm.
So, one, can you muster up the courage to speak up or to maybe just forgive, to see things in a new light? Because a lot of times forgiveness isn't so much about forgiving that other person. It's also about forgiving yourself for
100%.
whatever it was, for maybe not being able to see through all the red flags, whatever, just whatever it was, forgive yourself first. And then that allows for that path of forgiveness to continue on. But when we can accept what happened as a thing of the past that no longer holds us back or causes us pain, then we can move on.
Nice. Excellent.
Yeah. And so again, because of the whole Gemini thing, this could also mean that there would be a lot of misinformation, confusion in personal or professional areas of your life. So while Gemini is also a sign related to curiosity and duality, the influence of Mars retrograde could be destabilizing and overwhelming, and it could make you feel burnt out too. So that's kind of going along as well. That burnt out feeling, the like, I don't want to do this. It's normal. Just you're not alone. Mars retrograde in Gemini can also highlight the motivations behind how we are choosing to express ourselves and communicate with others. And are we doing things because we feel we should, or are they coming from a place of true alignment? So people pleasers, be warned. Like, this is the time to stop. Because you're going to be confronted with more situations of, are you going to choose the people-pleasing pattern, or are you going to break that and start setting some boundaries?
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I have a question.
Yes.
So, okay. How do we look at our birth chart? So if this Mars retrograde is in Gemini, then we would look at our birth chart to see what houses we have Gemini in, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then how many planets are in there to see what the influences would be for us specifically.
Exactly.
Okay. So for me, I have 0 planets in my Gemini is in my 8th and 9th houses. I have 0 planets in those except for one, Black Moon Lilith, which isn't really a planet or a planet. So, but that is shadow work, right? So,
yes.
And Black Moon Lilith is in my 9th house, which is about travel, wisdom, philosophy, higher education, law and religion, cross-cultural relations, learning, ethics, all that good stuff. So how would this Mercury or Mars retrograde impact that for me?
So your Lilith is also it's shadow work, but it's also like your feminine wound.
Oh.
So what to look at in that? So you said it's in what house?
My 9th.
The 9th house. So what beliefs so that's belief systems, higher learning, and travel. So how do you see yourself? What are the beliefs that you carry about yourself? So again, shadow work, right? Because shadow work is all about how you look at life, the beliefs that you have about yourself and about how things should be, about who you should be and how you should operate and function in as a person. So this is also looking at what's the other part is home, belief systems, higher learning,
law and religion, cross-cultural relations, learning, ethics, travel, wisdom, philosophy. That's
yeah. So it's also allowing you to really like look at your worldview around that. How do you, when your beliefs are threatened, how do you react to that? So it could be this time when, because of like these heightened things that we just talked about, maybe you will be confronted with a situation where your beliefs are threatened, where things that you believe are challenged, and then it's a matter of how are you going to react to that.
Yes, excellent. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on spirituality, because these houses, everybody has a different idea of what they represent, right? And so,
sure.
And right now it feels like that's really where my challenges are around, well, not spirituality, but like, I want to go deeper. I want to go bigger. Like, what do I want to do? How do I want to move this forward? How do I want to switch up how I serve others with readings and stuff? So interesting.
That makes sense.
But yes. Yeah. And then that would impact all of those things that you just told me about how I show up in this world, or how the current trends and stuff impact me. So very, very cool.
So here are a few things that you can do to make Mars retrograde not so exhausting and not so hard, not so awful for you. Okay, so 1, address how you're choosing to spend your energy. Learn about boundary settings if this is something that you haven't done at all. People talk about it all the time. I feel like it's become like this fucking buzzword now. But like, learn about it, and how do you want to apply it in your life? And there's so many different ways to express that. Like, I feel like for me, like, I have a Mercury in Scorpio, so I have like no problem like cursing someone out, and it comes out really mean sometimes. Like, if I'm not so I have to be careful with it. Whereas other people, like someone who would be a hard time expressing themselves, and then also would therefore have a hard time expressing a boundary. So just learning from others on how they do it, that would help. Conflict resolution to make your interactions more peaceful and more fulfilling. So again, like, allowing yourself to take a step back. Don't be so quick to react, and maybe take a moment to listen to what a person is saying. And then remember, part of listening to someone is kind of repeating back what they've said to you, to acknowledge that you've listened, and then proceed with whatever your answer is. Managing your energy levels, taking a pause when you need to. Breath work. Just take some deep breaths. Just like, take a moment out of your day to take some deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth, 4 seconds, or what is it, 6 seconds in, 6 seconds out. Like, just do that. And just a little bit of self-care. All right.
Nice.
Assess the motivation behind our actions. So give your opinions time to marinate. Clarity arrives with time, not urgency. So just allow yourself to take a step back before, if you feel triggered by something and you feel so quick to react, just take a step back.
I like that. Clarity arrives with time, not urgency.
Yeah.
That's a good mantra.
And then making peace with our masculine side, or our qualities, our masculine qualities, because it's Mars. And Mars is a masculine planet. So
assertiveness, confidence.
Yes. Making peace with that. So accepting that we are allowed to be assertive, and we can have that, but also like within reason. Again, balance. Yeah. Reviewing our passions and goals. So this is more what you're talking about. Reviewing your passions and goals, asking questions, because remember, curiosity is ruled by Gemini. So follow your inklings and enjoy that possibility of discovering new things.
Yeah, my whole body's tingling now. Thank you. That's lovely validation.
And then almost done. Second to last. All right. Rewire our ego brain. Meditate. Release your worries onto paper. Write without a filter. Write like you know that no one's ever going to read whatever you're writing. And it's just an exercise in releasing things that may burden you, thoughts that may just keep running around in your head all day. It's allowing that to have an exit point, is the purpose of writing that way. And then lastly, pay attention to your sexual health, because again, Mars rules sexuality, specifically sex drive. And when it goes into retrograde, this may mean that your sex drive may feel pretty low. Allow yourself to have that if that's the case. Honor that. Again, that we are humans and there's ebbs and flows, and nothing is permanent. Everything is temporary. Focus some time on your self-care, on your own personal needs. And remember that you can't tell a partner what you prefer if you don't actually know what your preferences are.
Right. Excellent, excellent advice.
Yep.
Such a good talk. I think that retrogrades, I don't have typically have challenges around retrogrades. And I don't think that they're as formidable as people say, but I know that this one has been extra spicy.
Yeah.
So
it's just starting, and the problem is that it's going to be around till January. So
Well, yeah. I mean, that's, but the Christmas should be fun.
Don't text your exes.
Don't text your exes.
Leave them. I got this great piece of advice that I was like a fucking TikTok or something. I don't even know where I got it from.
That's where all the best advice comes from.
Seriously. It was that your brain doesn't know the difference between looking at pictures of an ex or like physically seeing this person, like face to face. So stop looking at their social media. Just leave it alone. If you want it to be done, and if you want to forget about it, stop looking at it. Stop looking at them. Let it go.
Yeah. I don't struggle with that, but if I did, that would be great advice.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, girl. That was awesome.
Right. You're welcome.
That was awesome. This was a good little minisode.
All right, guys. Thank you for catching another minisode. If you enjoyed this minisode, please share it with a friend. It's a very easy, short episode to share with anyone who you feel like might benefit from this advice. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.